What's up, guys? Today's video is going to be about not letting God go when you're in college. So just to preempt that, what I'm going to talk about, I've been out off-road riding the SO line in Minnesota, and then I just attempted to go to the Mille Lacs area, so I'm riding back to the truck where I have it parked to load up and then head back. But did a bunch of off-roading on the Red Loop and some other places, and hit some forest roads and explored, and all that's going to be up on my channel too. And I'll throw the Mille Lacs bit at the end of this, maybe, or somewhere else, I don't know, but it was a complete waste, entirely underwater. But to get to the actual video about losing God in college, if you go to church, you know, everyone's going to say, they always talk about when you go to college is when most people lose their faith. It's when they stop practicing it, maybe, because suddenly you show up at college and your world changes. I mean, I am 26. I went to college at flight school out middle of nowhere, Kansas, and it sucked, but other people have different experiences. And for me, even me out there, I still lost God, you know, partying with the guys, boys being boys, you know, rednecking, all this crazy stuff, instead of keeping my guard up, you know, for keeping my life in order. I didn't have a firm foundation on Jesus enough to withstand it. And I hope you can be different than me and, you know, stay with God. You're probably in high school or something, or in college maybe if you're watching this, but when you go there, you know, your world's upside down. You left your parents. You've always lived with your parents, and suddenly you have freedom that you never experienced before, and you make all new friends who are, you know, of a different breed than probably your high school friends. Or maybe your high school friends start meeting new people and wanting to try new things, and so you join in on it. But the problem is not all that stuff is good. Not all of it you should be doing. Some of it is bad, like drinking and partying, and maybe you meet a girl and you always try to have a good girlfriend back home or whatever, but now you're in college and you get this wild girl who's not a Christian, you're not equally yoked to, now you're sleeping with her and whatever else. And it's like the world is a crazy place. And high school and whatever, depending on what your life has been like, most people, you know, who go to college are really sheltered, and you live with your parents and these people around you that keep you so secluded from the wildness of the earth, and then suddenly you're just thrown into it, and it's really hard to, you know, adjust. And a lot of people is when they lose their faith because they don't go to church. They want to do all the wild, crazy stuff that college kids do, and I fully understand. I did it all too, you know. I'm not shaming you, but I'm saying, you know, you need to keep your faith. If you walk away from God, you may never come back. And I'm lucky enough that when I walked away in college, I came back after. And I'm real sad that I, you know, left when I did. I gave up on God in a way, and I started living by my own will, doing what I want to do instead of caring what God tells me to do. And when that happened, you know, I gave into the world. I gave into all those temptations. And write them out yourself. You know, your experience, everyone's is different, but the temptation is there, and I gave into it. And I'll just be honest, yeah, I completely fell. Drinking, partying, vaping, all that wildness, I gave into it. And you shouldn't give into it. It's bad, it's wrong. You know, God is there, and He loves you, and He cares about you. And this is a SO line bridge. I'm gonna jump up here on the SO line so you guys will get to see some of it, so it's not gonna be a boring highway ride. But to get back to it, it's when you're gonna get, you know, trialed and tested in a way in your faith. And I was supposed to turn there, I'm pretty sure. I'm an idiot, it's fine. But the thing is that so many people are gonna walk away, and you may not walk away your first day in college, you may not walk away your second day, you may not walk away your first year, but sometimes by the time you're done, you're so numb and you're so out of it that you don't even realize you walked away, but you did. And it happens to a lot of people. I mean, a big thing to hold you down is what I'd recommend. When you're in college, I challenge you to read the entire Bible, start to finish, Genesis to Revelations, read it all, and get to know God, you know, in a way that maybe you never did before. If you haven't ever read the Bible, you know, that was my big weak point. I didn't understand enough, and I ended up giving in to all this sin that I wasn't there, and I wasn't I didn't have the firm foundation in Jesus to fight off, in a sense. And so I gave in and I fell, and I got beat down by the world, and I took away, and eventually my life was so terrible, I gave up, and I realized I still have, what about God? And I came back, and it changed my life. But I so regret the day that I walked away, and I hope you don't ever walk away, so you don't have to have those regrets like I did. I believe I'm gonna have to stand before Jesus, and I'm gonna have to answer for all the things wrong I've done, and college is gonna be a long list, I'll tell you that. So, you know, think about your actions. Think about that. If Jesus was next to you, would you behave different? And carry him through college. College is a time in people's lives where, you know, everyone's trying to figure out who they truly are. And just learn who God is, you know, understand him, get to know him, be on God's side, stay close to him. And the temptations will come. I promise you they'll come in one shape or another. But when you have that firm foundation in Jesus, and you're reading the Bible, and you try to find a church to go to, and you have those people around you that can say, hey, what are you doing? Like, should you be doing this? Should you be going to this party? Should you be drinking? Should you be vaping? Like, should you be doing this? You can have the second or two to think about, you know, should I? And you can answer it yourself. But you need to think about that stuff. You need to understand and know that you can't just give up on God because now you're on your own. It's like, in a sense, and I hate to say it, that when you're in high school or you're younger, your faith is kind of like your parents. And when you go off to college, now you have the change in your life, and the faith has to become yours. And if you want to stop going to church, you can walk away from God. He'll let you, but his arms are open to come back. You're not too far gone. You're not too young. Don't say, you know, I want to live, I want the college experience, because you could die tomorrow. You could get hit by a car and die. And now you died while you are living apart from God. You don't want to do that. You know, keep your candle on the candlestick. Maybe Jesus is coming back. How do you know? And all I'm saying is don't walk away. Don't think you're not going to miss anything. I did all those things that you're probably afraid of missing, and I wish I never did them. That's what I'm saying to you, is that your life, and I mean, you could throw this into anything, but I'm just saying college, I mean, high school, middle school, like your first job, whatever it is. Don't walk away from God thinking you're going to miss out. I mean, what you're going to miss out on is the beauty of the relationship with the living God, is what happens when you give up on that. I mean, you should stay with Jesus. You'll be so much happier that you did than if you don't. If you think you're going to be smart enough to go out on your own and live your life, and that you can take care of things, you know best, you know what you're doing, you're an idiot. And I was too. And that's what I did. And I paid the consequences for it. And I don't want you guys to. So I'm trying to, you know, just sit here and talk to you about, like, think about what you're doing before you do it. You know, life is crazy, and you have opportunities to stay close to Jesus, and you have opportunities to fall away from him, and it's up to you what you're going to do. God says there's my channel is literally called Narrow Roads. I didn't mean to bring this in, but God said there's a narrow road. Are you going to stay on it, or are you going to step off and walk the wide path to destruction that's easy and seems great, but at the end is death? I mean, is that the road you're going to take, or are you going to take the road to God? You decide. You tell me. I would love to know, you know. Stay with God, you know, get an accountability partner, whatever. Fine, but just glorify God with your actions. Don't walk away from God thinking that you're going to miss out. You're not going to miss out on anything. You're going to miss out on so much more and end up with regrets and problems in your life. You know, I'm going to miss out on getting to sleep with this pretty girl in college or whatever. Well, great, now you have a kid and you're screwed for 18 years. Was it worth it? Not to me. So hopefully it's not to you. And I don't know. I'm just saying the world's a crazy place, and the colleges, they don't lead. I've never seen a college that wants you to be led closer to God. You know, if anything, they teach you craziness and they teach you insanity. So many of the teachers started in college, got indoctrinated in that environment, and they never left. They stayed in school for like 8-10 years, whatever, and then they just stay at the same schools teaching or in another one, and they never live in the real world. You know, some of your teachers are cool and they did live in the real world. They have some experience, some don't. Some are good people, some are bad people. You know, but don't think that degree really means anything. In the real world, I know plenty of people with fancy degrees that are idiots. And I mean, it doesn't mean you're really all that much smarter. I have a college degree. You know, I have a big-time job, airline pilot, all this. I have a lot more than a college degree with all my licenses, rating, flight instructors, all this stuff. And it means, you know, nothing compared to my relationship with God. And God is just, it's all that matters. So treat it like that's all that matters. And, you know, live for God. Be on His side. Don't ever go away from God. You know, keep close to Him and keep on your side and do His will. And don't be ashamed, you know, of thinking, oh, college degrees are worthless. They're definitely not. And I hope I didn't give you that opinion. But what I'm saying is that, you know, there's plenty of good people in and out of college, and the college world is its own world. You know, it's not the rest of the world. When you get out, you might have a big culture shock if you think it is. And don't buy into some of their stupid environment that they have there. But there's plenty of good stuff too, you know, enjoy it and enjoy the good part of college, have fun and make good choices. I wish you guys the best. I hope you all, you know, stay close to God and don't leave them behind. There's some kids in the car I do a wheelie from. But, you know, God didn't leave you. He didn't abandon you. Don't do the same thing to Him. Stay close to Him and love Him and stay on His side. Don't abandon Him or whatever. He didn't abandon you. Alright guys, if you have any comments, questions, or whatever you want, leave it in the thing. I'll either make a video about it or respond to your comment or whatever I can do to help you guys. I wish you the best of luck and, you know, stay close to Jesus and never give up on Him. Alright, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you guys.